Hello and welcome everyone as we're once again going to be broadcasting a game. In this particular game, we'll be casting ER Force to Germany against Immortals from Iran. The game will commence in probably 10 minutes or so. Teams are now getting ready. And of course, we'll be here to cover everything for you. As I do realize my sound was a bit soft. But it's definitely resolved now, as I hope you're not too bothered by all the background murmur, as we're in quite a noisy room with a lot of visitors on a Saturday, a very warm Saturday afternoon. It's about 32 degrees here in Bordeaux, France, where the RoboCup is taking place. As there are multiple competitions taking place here at the same time. And as we're slowly getting ready for the game to commence, I am going to get myself installed with a nice cup of soda. And I would definitely recommend you all to do the same, as we are about to have a very good game between ER Force and Immortals, commencing in about a few minutes. The match is to be started as I see that my HUD is not updating, given that it's still showing an old game. However, the SSL Vision client is in fact updating, as the game will commence regardless of whether my status board is working. So I try to refresh and we see that it's now working. Right in time for the game to kick off. Immortals versus ER Force. ER Force being a team from Germany with a 4-man defense, a 5-man defense actually that you see here. They have in total an impressive number of robots on the field. As I switch to my goal view and see no robots there, I have a feeling that my camera has been deactivated. Let me try and refresh that for you, as the this camera seems to be working fine. I will try to resolve the other issues with the cameras in a short while. And it turns out once more that I have disabled my microphone whilst talking to you guys, as I was talking about the fact that ER Force is potentially playing with two different robots, as two different kinds of robots, I must say. If you look at the screen you are facing now, you see that actually they're playing with 10 9 of their newer generation robots and 2 of the older generation robots, as the game continues once more. And it's Immortals that is going to be at play, as they're shooting on the goal of ER Force with quite an insane amount of power. ER Force frantically trying to defend with 5 or a thick wall of robots, as the ball now crosses the back line of the field. As we are still on the side of ER Force with Immortals display, there's an attempt at a chip over the barrier that is created by the ER Force robots. However, no success just yet, as it's 0-0. Immortals is at play as there's a chip to the other side of the hill and a goal by Immortals. Let's see if we can clip that and do a replay at some point. Perhaps even immediately, as an incredible goal over the wall of on the wall defense of ER Force. Keeper a bit slow to respond. Let's check if we can go to that replay. As we see over here, the ball is on the right side, ready for Immortals to be taken into play, or at least it goes out here. And it's time for the double kissing method in order to put the ball in the correct position. This happens just at the corner flag on the right side of the screen, as there is a chip over the wall, as there's a chip to the other side of the Immortals, and a goal by Immortals. Let's see if we can clip that, or left side in this case, and has a nice 1-2 over the air. Quite impressive stuff we've seen so far. And even though it almost happens a second time in a similar way, there are some I guess additional details to be added to this game, as ER Force has been seen struggling quite a while this competition, given the fact that they have completely redesigned, or overhauled the design of their robots, made it better, but are struggling to implement some last radio frequency and control changes. Or actually, they're having just trouble with that in general. And as we have a closer look at this game, we see that also again here, some of the ER Force robots are struggling a little bit with getting where they need to be, even though it is still a very impressive sight to see that ER Force is playing with so many robots on the field. Immortals, on the other hand, is now stuck with ball placement, as they are not really able to get the ball through the kissing method out of that corner, as now the game is stopped, and the human referee will be asked to put the ball a little towards sideline, as the game will thereafter be continued. we're actually seeing a penalty kick being awarded to the Immortals team as the ER Force robots touched the ball whilst being fully in their defense area, which is something that is not really allowed. I know what I'm actually going to ask the OC whether I can also broadcast my audio to the outside for future matches. 1 second. as we are halfway through the first half, we noticed the balls once more again on the side of ER Force, as they are calling for a robot substitution in order to take it out and aim to repair it once more. Um, it's still 1-0, and I do wonder what happened to the penalty. At that particular moment in time, I was quite a bit distracted, though I have a feeling that the Immortals robots weren't able to put the penalty to um, a successful success, as the ER4 robots seem to be having trouble getting the ball outside of the defense area, as Immortals now has the ball and can place it in front of the goal. I also hear that there is indeed also a replay of my sound as I replay it in stream. Thank you for that feedback, as that might be something good to take into account, or see whether I can get remove the sound from the replay. That would possibly be quite an easy fix. I would assume so, at least. As we once more get a very nice opportunity to look at the kissing method from the Immortals side, we do notice that Immortals seem to be the stronger opponent in this particular match. This is perhaps quite significantly due to the fact that ER Force seems to be very much struggling with the radio communication protocols that they are having. But additionally, Immortals is also quite a good team and a strong opponent. They managed to score a goal against Tigers the other game, and this actually hasn't happened since the last 2 years. No goal has been scored against Tigers, and Immortals managed to do it today, so that's quite a revelation. And also here they scored a goal against ER Force, meaning that there's 1-0 is the score. 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining in the first half.
Yeah, ER Force, I think they placed second last year in Bangkok. Right, Thijs? Do you remember?
I believe so.
We weren't there, but we heard weird stories.
I believe it was indeed Tigers' first ER Force in the grand final.
Oh, it's true. We played that video many of times when we want to show people how our robots actually work.
Yeah,
It was a great match.
that is indeed very much true. As ER Force, though, I must commemorate them for their daring move of completely introducing new robots this year. It is of course a bit of a shame that the robots aren't working as they would have liked them to work. Of course, this type of sport or this type of competition remains very competitive, very fierce, and in some cases just do or die, and you have to try, otherwise you won't innovate, you won't progress, and you'll never win. So all in all, I think that ER Force still a really good team, very motivated, very passionate students. As we are waiting for the timeout that is called upon by ER Force to end, and the Immortals robots being very eager to get started again and play ball.
Yeah, and whilst looking next to the field, I see ER Force with a couple of light posts there. Maybe one of their batteries is almost empty and they want to change it. But it's a little bit unclear. The road is taken out of the field. Number 13 is driving towards the side. Whilst the Immortal robots are still very focused on the ball. As you can see on the left-hand side.
Yeah. As the game is now stopped, and before we probably continue with a kickoff, but the kickoff is actually from the side of ER Force. No, never mind, it's Immortals, as they will likely try to chip again, and they chip it over the wall, but there's an ER Force robot in the defense area in its way, as the keeper as well as the defenders are now making their way in order to get the ball out of the field.
See that how the two ER Force robots were basically blocking the Immortals robot, even though the goalie had the ball.
And what we see after that is even more interesting, as there is an ER Force robot who supposedly had the ball, but wasn't able to chip it or kick it, as it was not even close to the ball. You would have been able to see it on the, let's say, middle right of the screen, as the game was then after halted because there was nothing happening for 5 seconds. As now again, robots are blocking the way as the keeper chips the ball out of the field onto the sideline, ready for Immortals to once again bring it into play. as we bring on another guest to this live stream, Emiel Steerneman, longtime expert of Robot Team Twente, who will now be reporting what we're seeing here as the game is being halted for I guess, a free kick, as the game is now continuing for the side of Immortals. Well,
I see that I have at least 50 seconds left to talk.
at least.
And I'd like to talk a bit more about the league maybe. So as you can see, the R-Force robots are driving, that's very nice. They actually have 2 generations of robots in the field. One of the generations, the new ones, another generation out of 2014. And they have a slight communication problem. I'm not sure if you already told this.
A little bit, yes.
Yeah, so they have some slight wireless communication problems. They had that last year as well. And now they are maybe looking into, if I understood it correctly, looking into using new wireless chips next year, specifically the SX1280 chips. Oh, I gotta hurry up. Funnily enough, we have been using those chips already for 5 years. The code's completely open source. So they could have been using it for quite some time, no communication problems at all. What I want to say with this is there's so much out there, so much information, so much problems that are already solved. But people seem to keep on solving the same problems over and over again. And what I would like to see is that people use more of what's already there, so then they can put their time into actually developing new things towards the 2050 goal.
Well spoken, as we have still 37 seconds on the clock, so only a few more seconds to spare in the first half of the game, with a 1-0 score being
Oh, first half.
first half.
I can talk for another 5 minutes
You can
afterwards.
talk for another 10 minutes afterwards if you want. And if you don't want, you probably swap with my co-host Amy, as we're always here for you, live streaming, doing some quick replays, of which I've heard that my voice will also be replayed. That's an interesting take. Normally this does not really happen with replays, as I'm trying to have a look around and see what issue it is and whether it can be resolved. We noticed that the game is again being halted as the ER Force team wants to substitute a robot. Though they have started with 10 robots in the field, they are now down to still an impressive number of 7 robots, if I am not mistaken, 8 robots even, as Immortals gets the ball, takes it as a kick or a chip over the wall, as we approach the goal area of ER Force. As I look here in the chat, I do indeed think that the lady's voice, or otherwise known as my co-host Amy, might not be heard at times. Can you hear me now? As true stand-up comedy is performed here right on stage, as Amy has taken the seat again at the casting desk. And normally we didn't have quite those audio troubles in the past session of the live stream.
Oh.
So I assume, as we're now gearing up for halftime, with 5 minutes to spare, each of the teams gets to work on their robots. And as we move to a 3-cam visual, where you can see everything that's happening all at once, We'll take a quick break as well, and be back in 4 minutes.
Hello, is this thing on? I guess it's on. So I've been allowed to rant on stream in the break.
Oh, you wanted to do it on stream? I thought you wanted to rant to me.
No, I wanted to
Yeah,
rant.
sure.
I want to rant to the world
Rant.
with an A.
Well, this is supposed to be a kid-appropriate live stream, so please be nice.
I will use Teletubbies metaphors.
Oh yes, yes, do that. Ooh, use the RuneScape metaphors. I know you're way better at that.
Have you seen any innovation within Teletubbies?
Innovation with intelligence. Well, I know Nunu is a robot, and I think.
Has Nunu evolved over the past 10 years?
Well, honestly, I want to say something. Maybe the sucking became better.
Do you want me to turn off the audio first? You cannot say that. All
I
right.
know I did not say that.
Looking at Nunu from the Teletubbies, it has not really evolved over the past 10 years. You're both sitting away. Oh, that's not. Which is fine, because the reason they did not evolve is because the Teletubbies are not writing TDPs and ETDPs. The Teletubbies are not writing down their innovations to share with the other. I assume there are more than 4 Teletubbies. To share with other Teletubby communities and municipalities that have their own Nunus. So it's stuck. The Teletubbies are stuck in their own little techno bubble, and that's sad. And that's why here at the RoboCup, the small size league, we all share our innovations, and we do that also through the writing of TDPs and ETDPs. So then,
What does ATDP stand for? I mean?
oh yes, it stands for Team Description Paper and Extended Team Description Paper. And we have to write one each year. Each team has to write one to write down. You write down all your innovations that you made this year, and you share that with the other teams, so that we, all the teams together, can progress towards the 2050 goal of, Amy?
In 2050, a team of autonomous robots will be able to beat the human world champion, the reigning human world champion, in a football match.
Yes. And although our robots are small,
It does not stop us from dreaming big and enabling future generations to get inspired by those dreams.
because we are all about inspiration and innovation in the fields of robotics and artificial intelligence. We are not a cult. Back,
Did not just join this live stream back again to hear these kind of slurs in my live stream. I would like to ask the caster desk, my co-host caster desk, to keep those brainwashing slurs.
You will like inspiration, innovation. All right, back to the Teletubbies. All right, so we all share our innovations together so we can get to the 2050 goal of beating humans at soccer. But now, what I see happening is that we could have a better dribbler. People have worked hard on it, of course. Credits to all the people who worked on a dribbler. But I just looked at some SSL videos from 2010, and those people have the dribbler worked out. They have it working 13 years ago. And it's all in their TDP. They all wrote it down. It's just, we don't look at it. Why don't we look at it?
You tell me. I mean, why don't we look at it? Maybe if only there was an easier way to find information
I did.
in TDPs and ETDPs. Because there are so. Do you know how many papers there are? There are over 317, if I remember.
317 papers. That's not even including the papers from this year. Do you know how much information it is? It's 85,000 sentences. I know, because I parsed them all. Alright, I didn't want to put this into a self-hype, but I will. There's now a search engine for TDPs and ETDPs. All the information from all the teams over all the years gathered in one spot. And you can find it at tdp.roboteamtwente.nl.
But if you search now, you get a free query.
One query, well, they're all free. If you search now, I'll promise you better results. And faster loading speeds of the website. Oh, so yeah, tdp.roboteamtwente.nl. Do you want to know what a good material is for the dribbler? Well, I did. I looked it up on the search website, and turns out a lot of people use silicon, but in 2013, teams were already using urethane. Urethane, apparently. I didn't know that. I never heard of that stuff. You know that? Urethane?
Yes.
Yeah, polyurethane. I've heard about that. Actually, this year I had a discussion with one of the professors at our university. Let me know about our dribbling problem, where we have quite some troubles actually getting the ball to kind of stick to the dribbler. And he suggested using polyurethane, since it would apparently have high friction when in contact.
Whoa.
So I have heard about urethane before, but it was polyurethane.
Polyurethane. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Though I do wonder whether your chat TDP did get this one fully correct, or at least there's no correct answer, of course. But as far as I am aware, the Tigers are actually using a TPU printed dribbler bar. I wonder, as a small little challenge, whether your ChatGPT can indeed find information about.
Well, it's not a chat GPT just yet. I would like that. I need some money for that because the OpenAI API is not free. All right, let's see.
Hence, we'll be adding a QR code to the stream where you can donate straight to the development of this beautiful website. Of course, kidding. If we were to add a QR code, it would definitely not go to the crowdfunding, but it would do something else.
In the search result, I have not yet found the Tigers paper in the search results, but I have a paper here from RFC Cambridge in 2013 saying they 3D printed their a cast and then used that to create a dribbler. Very interesting. That's what we do as well. Yeah. And they also...
Your own innovation was interesting. I think that is
No, that's not what I said. I said that we used the same technique as a team in 2013. And they tried both concave and convex dribblers, apparently. Pretty interesting. Oh, it also says, so far the dribbler has not been running due to several different problems. Well, we're 10 years later, and the team doesn't exist anymore. But I hope they figured it out.
Perhaps we could ask in the chat whether there are any people from the... Which team was it?
RFC Cambridge.
Whether there are any Cambridge people around in order to resolve the mystery of whether their dribbler is finally working after 10 years of constant innovation.
To be honest, I also got a relevant question about the match. What is the current score and how much time is left? Maybe we should start focusing on the match as well.
Okay, yeah, I'll give a little update on that. So we are in the second half of Immortals versus ER Force. It's 1-0 for Immortals. At the moment there's a ball placement going on for our force, and we are in the second half with 3.5 minutes left. At the moment there are no active yellow cards, So 11 versus 11 is allowed. However, I only see 4 versus 4. 4 Immortal players versus 4 ER Force players. ER Force failed ball placement, so now Immortals can give it a go, but I see that also was unsuccessful, so the referee is stepping up and placing the ball in the corner.
Right. I think I'm gonna add a new feature to the search thingy. I want keyboard search. How about the... Alright, as we can see on the screen, yellow field ball placement, that's Immortals. Amy is looking at me very intensely.
Yes, I'm looking at your eyes.
Yes, while you are looking at my eyes, let me tell you...
You're not feeling well.
I was kidding.
Are you okay?
Thijs is not feeling well.
Oh no. Anyway,
Do you want a photo of your eyes, Thijs?
I just want to talk about ball placement. Alright, so there is a rule. So I actually kind of know the rules.
Oh, you do know the rules. Well,
Slightly.
you cannot know the rules on this live stream.
I know only that part of the rule because I wanted to use that rule to gain an advantage, which we didn't. Anyway, so once you fail ball placement, there's a counter that goes up by 1. If you fail ball placement again, 2. If you succeed ball placement, it actually decrements to 1 again, 0. So the plan is to stay below 5. If you have 5 consecutive failed ball placements, or then you cannot do ball placement again that half of the match. So I just saw that Immortals failed the ball placement, so they might go up from 0 to 1 or for 4 to 5. It might cause them to not be allowed to do ball placement again. And if I am correct, someone might correct me on this. If you fail ball placement and the other team does succeed ball placement, then it's their ball.
As the match is now finished, it appears that Immortals has evicted victorious once more, as they will now move on to the upper bracket half finals, I assume, potentially going for another match against Tigers at some point in time. Unfortunately, ER Force is now also eliminated from the competition, as this was their final moment. As ER Force can be very proud of that achievement, as it was quite a nice game Of course, there are still some games to be played today, and we'll be sure to try and do them for you as well, as we're waiting for the next game. I am not completely sure which game that will be, but for now, a big congratulations or shout out to both teams for putting together a quite nice match with not that many goals. We could one more time have a look at the replay of the one goal that was made. We see it over here. As we are still on the side of ER Force with Immortals display, there's an attempt at a chip over the barrier that is created by the ER Force robots. There is an incredible chip with a however terminated path. No success just yet, as it's 0-0. It gets intercepted. Immortals is at play as there's a chip to the other side of the field and a goal by Immortals. Let's see if we can clip that. We indeed find ourselves looking at a goal. A well-deserved goal as well, and therefore also a well-deserved victory, as ER Force has been, or Immortals has been mostly crushing ER Force on their half. For now, my name is Thijs. I'm here with fluctuating co-hosts Amy as well as Emil, and we'll be sure to tune in with you next game, as you can take a brief moment to enjoy the team photo being made, after which we'll end the stream and move into the next one. Thank you very much and have a nice day wherever you are, and we'll see you in the next live stream.